joining my channel. This is going to be the first video that I'm doing here in English. So I'd like to welcome you to one of the dumbest automotive channels. My goal here is to buy cars that I like, have used, everybody liked, and we're either going to fix them or we're going to enjoy them for a little bit and sell them back. So without further ado, for our first car that I want to touch base with here is going to be an American classic, Panther platform. And we start off with a beautiful 1997 Mercury Grand Marquis LS. Virtually full option car for the year. Let me know what you think. Beautifully maintained. One color, doesn't seem to have any panels that were painted. Even the aluminum and trunk and the aluminum hood are identical. They don't have any issues. The only stuff that I see was wrong when purchasing this vehicle were some discoloration here on the plastics, and the rear bumper panel was painted. Other than that, this is a true Florida snowbird vehicle. A snowbird family has owned it for the past 25 years. This came from an estate sale. This beauty only has 87,000 miles on it. And it requires nothing but love. I will do an oil change because I just picked it up a couple of days ago. Haven't had the time to do anything other than to register it. And sort of sit back and re-envision memory lane of what the 90s were. And I remember these cars in New York, working as liveries, taxis, limos, in the Lincoln Town Car disguise, in Crown Vic disguise, depending on the taxi company, and a bunch of these Mercuries. And I remember them fondly in terms of what they're capable of, how comfortable they are. And it just makes you feel good when you're driving a clean vehicle of that era. And that's sort of my soft spot for cars. I love cars from yesteryear that are beautiful, that are taken care of, that are unique in a sense, because you can overlook them and see that a regular Mercury, nobody would bat an eye twice. But then 20, 30 years later, you look at them in such a shape as this one, and you remember things fondly, and you remember the songs that were on the radio. You remember how young you were and where you were in life. And it's a beautiful time to sort of envision that again. And I'm lucky enough to be able to purchase this and drive it around and revisit my earlier years, which is fun. Let me know what you guys think about this particular model. If you've had any cool stories to share, this is a great road trip car. Now, if you were in the business of doing bad things and getting rid of bodies, you know, you're some wise guys. You had to get rid of a body or two. You would get one of these. You would pop the trunk, and you would throw in 2 or 3 bodies in here, and nobody would bat an eye. Plenty of space, plenty of room. Super clean. But let's see. One wise guy. You could fit 2 more, maybe a little bit of luggage on top. Take them out, upstate, dig a hole. Let's go revisit the front. See how it held up after 25 years. From a matching exterior to a matching interior. This is what the inside of a low mileage 25-year-old Grand Marquis looks like. Some minor wear and tear, but honestly you can't fault it for that. Seats are very comfortable. It's a 6-seater, so it's seats 6. You got a lap belt in the middle, no 3-point. But other than that, typical classic Ford product from this era. I know you know this radio. It's been in everything, from every U-Haul you've ever borrowed to every rental car to every cop car. It's been there. And this one has a very, very rare option. 1997 GPS. Look at that. Beautiful. This runs on 2G speeds. Sometimes on no G because it doesn't really work, it's stuck. But that's that. A nice sort of steering wheel you would find in a Mustang of this era. Digital dash. Goes through its self-checks. And there you have it. Nice, simple, classic. Let me know what you guys think, what we should do with it. I don't think I'm gonna have to do much in the sense of fixing this car up. I'm just gonna get an oil change and maybe some new wipers because they're a little funky in the rain. But other than that, this car will always bring a smile to my face. And every time you accelerate, you could always peel out. The other day it was raining actually, and every single red light I would come up to and just gently trying to get away from the light, the rears would light up. So I was smiling like a 17-year-old kid. And I just gotta say, this brings back good memories, and I'm happy to have bought it. I'm happy to have experienced this once more, and in the future there might be a chance that this is gonna go further on. But keep watching, subscribe, like the channel, and we're gonna continue doing a little bit more of this with different cars as we get our hands on them. I've yet to be in the back of it, but as you can see, it doesn't look too used. It's beautiful light blue on light blue leather. So you guys wouldn't believe it, but I was just visited by the armed guard here at the location where I'm at filming, and he came by and he was just reiterating what I said, that he was a NYPD cop back in the 90s, and these are the cars that he drove, but Crown Vic editions. And he said, oh my God, this is the cleanest one I've seen in years, and it brings back so many memories. And this is sort of the reason why I do this, why I buy cars, why I flip them. You know, you get a little bit of acquaintance with them. You go back in time to enjoy some of the features that they had and how they drive. It's an escape. And I think we all, as car guys, we need an escape in some way, shape, or form. This is what keeps us sane. This is what keeps us going. And it doesn't matter what we drive, whether it's a Kia, whether it's a rare RX-7, whether it's a Mercury Grand Marquis, and whether it's a Ferrari F40. Something unites us, and we all have some sort of respect for each other and different cars in the shape that they're in. It's hard to explain, but this ex-cop that just came by just pretty much summed up why I do this stuff for. So I just came back from the store. I bought some wipers for this thing because I was driving earlier and it was raining a little bit, and they weren't doing such a stellar job. So I got a set of wipers for this car, and you guys won't believe it, but the wipers that I actually pulled off, the old wipers, are genuine FOMO-CO, Ford Motor Company wipers. So somebody serviced this car at the dealer till its very end. So it seems that I got really lucky with picking this up because it seems to have a very good history. Judging not only by the interior and the exterior of this car, but underneath, there doesn't seem to be any major leaks, doesn't seem to be anything overly wrong. Brakes are in good shape. Tires aren't wearing in properly. Suspension's nice and tight. I got lucky. This just sort of is a cherry on top for picking up a car from yesteryear versus having to bring it to a mechanic or having to take it apart and tear it apart and turn it into a project. So this is a project that you could enjoy. Buy, get in, drive for a little bit, and move on. Let's take this single exhaust 190 horsepower of Fury up to highway speeds and see how she sounds. See if we could hear back that sound everybody feared. And what I mean by that is if you were young and you had a vehicle where you sort of disobeyed the law and did burnouts and, you know, had fun, every time you heard a Crown Vic get going from a stop, there was a very distinct sound. and all the cars that were undercover or were actual PD vehicles all sounded the same. This sounds a little bit different, but it does have that rumble to it. It's mostly from the exhaust. If this was a dual exhaust setup, we would hear it a little bit better. But I will not lie and say I don't know this sound. This sounds very familiar. Oh man, good memories, good fun. But as you can see, this is a 25-year-old car. We're doing about 75, give or take, right now. It's very comfortable, it's quiet. It's getting pretty decent mileage for the year, probably in the mid to high 20s if you're doing in the 60s, from what I've noticed. Awesome highway cruiser. You don't have to worry about anything. It's very comfortable. Like I said, this is an ultimate road trip car. So if you have a couple of friends and you want to go on a road trip, this would be it. You guys can chat, talk, be all comfortable at the same time. Have snacks, have drinks, not worry about spilling anything, because you know this car, it's older. It's a little bit easier to clean up. It's not as if you were in the Lexus or something along the lines, because I also have a Lexus LS 430 which I've been doing videos on, and that thing I'd be a little upset if something got spilled in. This, however, a quick cleanup and you don't have to worry about it. This is a car that can transform into being more than a car. This will be an extension of you, a friend that you could always rely on, because these things were bulletproof, and frankly, after 25 years, they still are. I don't have anything bad to say about it. It's a little bit of yesteryear when it comes to the way you drive it, because this is more of a mechanical car than anything else. There's no real assist here. There's no park assist, no cameras. And you do drive a little bit. The ABS system reacts differently. Your braking system reacts differently. The way you accelerate is different. This is only a 4-speed, not a 7, 8, or a 9-speed that you find in newer cars or trucks. So it's a little bit of a slower, less responsive sort of machine. But once you guys are in sync and you both understand each other, it's like a good pair of jeans, your favorite pair of jeans. And it's hard to find nowadays. But no worries, on this channel we're going to continue searching for cars like this. Whether it's here or it's in Europe, we're definitely going to be able to pick up and find some unique vehicles that we can call friends. Stay tuned for some future episodes. Click the like button. That will definitely help us. Thank you.